Welcome to Married to Movies. Industry insiders John Russell and Tracy Kring live and work happily in cinematrimony. They're sharing behind-the-scenes adventures of writing, producing, and appreciating films.
Good morning, babe.
Good morning.
Okay, well.
Let's try that again.
Struggling with some seasonal allergies over there.
Something going on there.
We enjoy, while we're waking up in the morning, having breakfast, we enjoy watching the Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Yes.
The one from the previous night.
Right.
A little moment to chill.
This is the difference between being in your 20s and being in your 40s and 50s.
Okay.
Where you decide that you still want to watch The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, but you don't stay up and
That's
watch
not true.
it.
We're definitely up.
Well, I know.
We
sometimes.
just save it. We
Yeah.
save it. No,
Sure.
all the time. I'm all the time awake until midnight.
Okay. Fair enough.
I can't go to sleep before midnight unless I'm ill. So the other day we were watching it and OK Go popped back up like a little weasel.
This is what OK Go do. They were like, okay, we're forgotten. People are past us, blah, blah, blah. Then like 2 or 3 years later, they'll come out with an album. And they're really not coming out with albums, folks. They're coming out with music videos.
Yeah, they're just there to blow music videos apart.
And the latest one utilized robots and mirrors.
I don't even understand how some of the things happened.
Yeah.
I really would like to see the making of, but it was a feat, as it always is.
OK Go makes me feel suicidal.
Well,
they do. They make me feel like I've done nothing with my life.
I don't know who engineers this.
They put so much effort and so much thought and so much concentration into every single video that they
honestly, though.
Yes.
If that same intention was set for their songs, I feel like they'd be the biggest band in the world.
Maybe. Thank you, OK Go, for making me feel bad about my life once again.
Now, you were saying something about Lady Gaga, and I guess she's getting some clap back.
Well, everybody was talking about Coachella.
This is the second time she's been at Coachella.
Yes. But the first time she was at Coachella, it was she was filling in for Beyonce, and she really didn't get to. So what Gaga said was, I have come to bring a opera to the desert.
Oh,
and it had this like crazy, like just the visual ideas in it, the way that it like all kind of came together, the music that she chose. It was incredible. But the Christians, once again, Gaga is satanic. Satanic rituals. There are satanic rituals. But I thought that she slayed, and I think other people think that she slayed. And then I thought, why can't we all come together and come up with a new term, which we will call slaytanic?
My hot take on this is, let the Christians Christian. Look, when we were growing up, during AIDS, like the Christians have stopped Christianing a lot. Other than now they've moved to politics. I liked it better when they picked on kids. Like, just pick on fucking kids for watching the Smurfs or something. Okay.
Right.
Now they moved on to politics. They have grown up into politics, which is probably worse, a lot worse for the world. Having lived through the Satanic Panic, if they want to pop up every once in a while, like OK Go, and say their piece, and they want to call somebody satanic, it's like, okay, well, I know they're gonna pop back down. Okay, there goes the weasel. They're gonna pop back down. I'm not that worried about that.
If you're convinced that anything dark, anything gothic, anything even kind of messing around with sort of evil themes is satanic, sure.
Look,
absolutely. If that's the way you're going to live your life, that's fine. Personally, I don't believe in Satan, but that's just me.
Well, I do.
Oh, okay.
I happen to know his address right now.
Pennsylvania Avenue. We finished up the Piper script. Well, I wouldn't say we...
you finished it a while ago.
Well, yeah, we had finished it, but what we had not done was gone all the way through it and edited.
I mean, as you're just kind of like vomiting it out, writing it out.
Right.
There are certain things that might happen where you realize now, reading it through, oh, this theme has come out of nowhere, because it's really cool, but you have to, reintegrate it backwards into the story. Or,
well, you're really good at that, where you realize that, okay, if I'm watching this, I need some little buffer scene.
Oh God.
What is that? It's not ligaments, but it's like in between the bones.
Use references, That'd be awesome.
Sometimes I will start saying something and I think that the little man inside my brain
will just
is going to be able to find it.
Yeah, and he's back there going, "Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck."
Is that what the little man inside my brain is always saying?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Why are you putting me on the spot like this?
Yeah, he's in a dissociative state.
He's in a tizzy, as they would say.
Yes.
Maybe that's
he's
his
in
name.
A Slatanic panic.
Maybe that's his name.
Tizzy.
The little man in my brain named Tizzy.
He is so tizzy. Connector scenes.
Yes, exactly. To where it makes things move. And sometimes you'll be like, why have we left our main characters for so long?
Yeah. Well, and I'm always looking out for the characters. Like, I rather write movies where the main character is on screen at all times. For me, this is way easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a script hack.
Right.
Having to follow multiple characters drives me crazy.
Well, I think you could follow multiple characters, but the problem with that is that when you don't have the main character kind of interacting and, coming in and out and that type of thing. I mean, we watched Your Friends and Neighbors last night, and the way that they did this episode was like a night out for each individual group of characters. And there were like 4 different storylines going.
Be honest, you don't give a shit about all of them the same. And at the end of the show, it went to a whole other new show, like just some other show started playing, and I couldn't tell the difference between the shows. I was like, wait, who's this character? I just feel like on that show, especially, anybody who's going to be remotely interesting is not attractive.
Characters that are not as physically appealing, that are not the sexy ones, always have the most interesting stuff to do.
Well, it's like when they're writing the sexy character, they have to stay a certain amount of cool, and they can't actually have character. Characters that are the most interesting right now on Your Friends and Neighbors are the sister who doesn't have her life together.
Right.
And the pawn shop woman, the older pawn shop woman.
Well, and the sister sings a song, and I was like, she's too good to just be an actress singing. And I found out she was a singer who acts. I remember I read a couple of John Updike books, Rabbit at Rest, and basically this idea of the existential crisis of the middle-aged man. And I feel like
something
it's
no one gives a fuck about.
Well, no. He's discovering how empty his life, and hopefully at the end he'll have a realization that there is a better path. There is a spiritual path. There is a path, where he doesn't have to steal things.
Well, it would have been good if you had figured that out like 20, 30 years ago before you like ruined lives.
Here's the thing. Sometimes you'll watch a movie that you just decided not to watch when it came out. You didn't go to the theater. You didn't even necessarily watch it when it first came out on streaming. We finally did. Blink twice.
What's that one with the guy from SNL with the dark circles under his eyes?
Oh yeah, Bodies.
It reminded me of Bodies.
It was not as good as Bodies.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't as good.
The woman that they focused on, the black woman they focused on, was awesome.
Yeah, she was good. Yeah. Yeah, she was really good.
The girl with all the freckles, I don't even know why she was there. She was such a minimal character.
Yeah, but I mean, she's always great, and she always
she had very little to do.
Has very interesting. The film basically is about like Epstein Island.
At night, okay, this is a giant issue for me. And spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, this is crazy spoilers.
Okay, this is just, I'm gonna lay this out. At the end of the film, like, I thought at first they were being drugged at dinner. The whole time we see this old lady going around and catching these like albino pythons. One girl gets bit by an albino python, and then she kind of like sees what is actually going on.
Right. It's like the python is counteracting the drugs.
The venom of the python's bite is counteracting this hallucinogen,
which is making people forget anything that happens at night.
They forget anything.
Right. Like every night
these girls are getting raped.
Yeah. All the time.
And they don't
remember any of it.
There's a dude there and he's getting raped, I guess. I don't know what all's going on, and they never show anything.
Right.
And I feel like that, like, if you're going to go there, you and the girls would like wake up with like black eyes and stuff. I feel like I don't want to see it, but you need to show a little bit more just to solidify how awful these people are. So you get bit and it counteracts this poison that makes you forget. And you can actually remember things and see things as they truly are.
Right.
We're never introduced to how exactly are they causing this hallucinatory thing to happen.
Right.
And when we finally find out, it's like, at the very end.
It's like a perfume that they're using.
I don't even know how that girl knew it was the perfume.
Right. And we've never,
and she like puts
and
perfume.
We never see people
never see anyone using it,
using the perfume. And
no, when they got there, they were given like a gift bag, and this perfume was in it.
Right. Channing Tatum gave everybody these gift bags.
I never saw one woman spray it.
No,
I don't think.
No.
And also, like, if this was something you were planning, I feel like you would have put it in everything, because some people like I wouldn't use that perfume. It would have to be the most incredible perfume in the world for me to use it, because I would use my own.
Right.
There could have been a hand lotion. There could have been the soaps and the shampoos, and it could have been hidden into a lot of things.
Right. I just feel like
I never saw anything.
I just feel like when you describe the plot for this movie, it feels so
dumb.
I thought Channing Tatum was excellent in it. He was very scary and very weird, and definitely had a vibe.
At the end, he's been vaping this whole time, and she has put the forgetty giddy perfume into his vape.
Into his vape.
So he vapes it, and she's like, "It's the forgetty stuff." And then
I just want to go on record as saying it's not called forgetty stuff.
Well, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I forget the name too.
But the snake venom counteracts it, and this girl figures that out, and she like does like margarita tequila shots with all of the women.
With the snake venom,
so that all the women are woken back up.
Right.
They start killing people. It's a horror film.
Right.
So anyway, super lame. We finished the movie.
Incredibly mean-spirited. That was my issue with it.
The men are just monsters.
Yeah, exactly.
And like one woman was married to the guy who this was doing this to her.
Right.
Like, uh-oh, girl.
Well, that was Gina Davis, who has just disappeared really from the film.
Oh, well,
world.
Gina Davis plays, I guess, the mom or the sister character.
Yeah, something like that.
And they gave her a shot, so she woke up from everything.
But then she got mad because she didn't want to remember.
Right.
Right.
But I feel like Gina Davis has probably been blackballed because she did all that research about how women are treated shitty in
God
movies.
Bless Gina Davis. God bless her.
She did like a whole study.
She's amazing.
Okay, so we get to the end of the movie and I turn to you and say, if you would have finished that script and handed it to me to read, I would have chopped your head off. There's no way in hell this would have passed with me.
Right.
Not any way in hell.
Right.
Wait, hold on. What in the fuck do you think? Did you just invent that out of thin air? Perfume? Really? I would have berated you for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. There is nothing easier than fixing plot.
No,
it doesn't cost you anything.
It's not even
to
plot.
fix the plot.
It can be hard to fix logic. It can.
Well, if your idea is fucked to start with, and then you start to try to change the reality of the world.
All we needed to do was them get their gift baskets.
Right.
And, this smells good. Oh, this lotion, this shampoo, this sunscreen.
Right.
Okay. And all we had to do was have them testing the products right there. Mm-hmm. And then a girl's getting out of the shower and putting her makeup on, and she rubs some suntan lotion on her shoulders.
Yeah.
They're putting suntan lotion here because they're out in the sun. It's like a remote, island, tropical island. They're putting lotion on.
Right.
They're spraying the perfume. All we had to have was just like, a couple. Right. Just a couple.
Right. Just a couple of moments where
but also
it answers the question.
When did she figure it out is a problem.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There was never a moment where she sat there and was trying to figure something out and saw it. There was never a moment when in like a flashback they were like spraying it in their face. She never woke up in the morning and smelled like it. Anything that would have been crumbs that she could have pieced together.
Right.
And like those things are that's what I'm talking about is getting to a point in your writing where something happens, but the logic for it has to be, constructed. It has to be retrofitted for the logic.
So there's a game show called Got to Get Out. First of all, terrible name for a game show.
It's bad.
It's a bad name. Got to Get Out.
We think you might have auditioned for this show.
I straight up did audition for this show.
Okay.
Because the way that they described the show was that there was going to be a money counter. You were going to have to get to the car. You were going to have to be able to open up the windows or the doors. I mean, if I did not audition for that show, I auditioned for a show exactly like it.
Well, the car only factored into the first challenge, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But so the whole house is locked. There's like that short dark-haired lady from The Golden Bachelor, Omarosa.
Yeah, there were like 10 reality stars and then 10 regular people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Spencer, who's like with Hottie Montag or whatever.
Yeah, Spencer Pratt.
Spencer.
Yeah.
The football dude and some athletic dudes.
And some MMA fighter. And
yeah.
And the idea is that they're locked in a house for 10 days.
They get a clue like, hey, whenever the money counter hits like $300,000, this particular door is going to be open. And the goal is to try and get out the door without being noticed and run down the driveway through the open gates.
A very long driveway.
Well, I don't know. I think it's long, but I think they also kind of like drew it out in the edit.
Mm-hmm.
This one dude booked it. Like he could be in the Olympics, maybe.
He was flying.
But he tore a hamstring. He pulled a hamstring or something.
Pulled a hammy.
I mean, like, yeah, if he was going to go that fast, he needed to do a little warm up.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody did get out.
He did.
And then the clock reset.
Right. And then it goes back to
like
zero.
It's like $1 million.
Yeah. It's like 1 minute. It's like $1 per minute. I auditioned for the show. I think I even made it into the second round. And then obviously I didn't get on the show. And I was like, how would I have done?
Bad. You would have done really bad.
You don't know that. You do not know that I would have done really.
Poorly.
Well, okay.
You are bad at lying.
Well, I mean, maybe.
And there's deception that was required.
Yeah, there was definitely some deception required.
I don't know if you're great at sneaky plans. I don't know. It's not really in your character.
I could come up with some sneaky plans.
And the running.
The running was not good. Yeah.
No.
See, The other thing is there was a watchtower,
mm-hmm.
and if you saw somebody, you pulled on this lever, and that told people, okay, hit the button that closes the gate.
Right.
Right, so they can't escape.
But some of the people who couldn't run, like the older woman from The Golden Bachelor,
she had like a designated runner, and then they would end up splitting the money. What they ended up doing is they had to split 16 people, or maybe it was or it was 18 people ended up having to split like $660,000, which gave them like $43,000 a person. Because they couldn't do it. They couldn't escape. Yeah.
The one that I thought was hysterical was when Spencer got out and there were like these recycling bins, like trash cans. And if you got in one and hid, you could get snuck out by the recycling truck.
Right.
And it was hysterical. It was full of like shredded paper. So he had to like get in and empty it as it went to get himself in there, crammed in there.
That wasn't Spencer. That was Steve.
Oh, that was Steve.
That was Steve.
Everybody hated Steve.
Everybody hated Steve. Yes.
So, and he's like a bigger man.
Because he didn't think he was going to be able to get the money, he sabotaged everybody's plans because he was like, at least I'm going to get $43,000 out of this.
I mean, I enjoyed the show, but when they found that guy in the trash can, it was fucking hysterical.
Oh, and then there was a lady from The Golden Bachelor, and she was so dumb.
She got like clues and immediately
told everybody.
And then somebody was like, "Excuse me, like, why are you telling us all? Now all we have to do is wait and hit the button." And she's like, "Oh."
I'm wondering if I should go back and watch some of these shows that everybody says are great that I never watched. What I always find out is that there is a reason that something is popular. Severance is an example of this, where we tried to watch like
one episode
of Severance. I don't know his name.
Andrew Scott, is that?
Yeah, you nailed it. And
I don't like him.
I don't think that you have to like him.
He's the lead. He's the show.
Right.
I have to like him.
Okay.
Do you remember that show that he came from? Like the first time that you ever saw him? Do you remember what that was?
Andrew Scott? I mean, there was Parks and Recreation.
No,
that was one of his shows.
Before that.
Before Parks and Recreation?
Mm-hmm. Is it Adam Scott? Or
yes, it is Adam Scott.
Well, I think I said Andrew.
Another of those shows is Hacks.
Hacks.
There are these shows that go on that everybody just adores and we just miss, like Barry.
No, it was called Tell Me You Love Me.
Okay, wait a second. It was not called Talk to Me. No. It was not called Couples Therapy.
No, it was called
Tell Me You Love Me. Okay. All right.
I think it only had one season in 2007.
Wow.
Okay.
We are going back here.
Yeah, it was like all these couples who were in therapy.
I do not remember that show at all.
Yeah, it was good. After we finished The Pit, I kind of wanted something like The Pit. Mm-hmm. So I started watching ER. There's 15 seasons of that.
But is it like where you have to keep watching it?
No, it's like a in the background kind of show.
Okay.
You know, it's like that was the good thing about soap operas. You didn't have to be engaged with them. Mm-hmm. You could be folding clothes, and there's definitely shows to fold clothes to. And like I love shows to fold clothes to, where anytime you do tune in, it's like fun and good, but you can tune right back out. It doesn't stop you from doing things. Right. And that's like what I like to have on while I'm working.
Okay.
Just like look up, be entertained, look away. Well, you have to try it. Okay, so between now and the next show, you have to try one. And this is also like one of the last couple shows of the season.
And also, do you just do the first episode? Because sometimes the first sometimes it takes a couple.
You
to get
have
into
to.
It.
I think if you're going to give a show a chance, you have to try and watch 3 episodes.
3 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is that show that was so freaking boring? I mean, it's got like Michael Fassbender or somebody like that in it.
The Agency.
Oh my God, we just had that on, and it was just the most boring show in the world.
It really was. Yeah, and it has everybody in it.
Everybody's in it. I was like, wait,
Wright
hold on.
Is in it,
I didn't know that guy was in it. Is he in it? Richard Gere's in it?
And yeah, exactly. And
so boring.
So dull.
I feel like every time I looked up, it was shots of streets.
We're not people that something has to be like, mile a minute, action packed, blah, blah.
No.
I mean, slow burn thriller is one of our favorite genres.
Yeah.
So what have you got coming up this week?
I don't know.
You got nothing coming up? You got nothing going on?
Just editing Sky Valley.
Yeah. In the movie, there was this always this battle where everybody wanted to cuss.
We were trying to not just make it like F word, F word, F word.
Yeah, like full Goodfellas. Yeah, we were trying to avoid that because there was a lot of emotion and people had a lot of passion, and it's a very dramatic, and sometimes people get very angry in these scenes.
You were like, okay, no holding back. You can say whatever you want. You know, whatever comes out, whatever cuss word comes out, fine.
On this take.
So, but I mean, I think in the whole scheme of things, I was able to
keep it controlled.
Right. But I love me like a really well-timed, perfect use of the F word.
Absolutely.
I don't really have hang-ups on cuss words.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes you have to give a fuck.
You have to use it.
You do.
like shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck.
Shut the fuck up. Cake. I love cake.
We can see that.
Yes, that's true. Oh, was that a fat joke?
It's hard not to get romantic about movies. Thanks for listening to Married to Movies. John and Tracy will meet you for breakfast tomorrow.